What's going on, guys? I'm back here today with something exciting. This is the beginning of a very cool project, but all projects got to start somewhere. But that takes nothing away from this base rifle I'm going to show you here today. It is one of the most famous rifles in firearms history. It's been around for a long time, but this one is a little fancy. It's the Springfield M1A SOCOM. All right, so you're probably thinking, Steve, why do you want an M1A SOCOM? One, why not? What's wrong with you? The SOCOM, the M1A is something that is just steeped in firearms history. Of course, not this particular version. The old school retro M1A has been around for a long time, but I was really excited that, some time ago, this is not new. This is not a new offering. But when Springfield kind of tricked it out a little bit and did the SOCOM 16-inch version with the little ported barrel up top, the Archangel adjustable stock, the all black furniture, it just really set this thing off. Now, I appreciate all firearms. I love retro stuff. I love original stuff. I love old stuff. I love stuff of all kinds, all time periods. But certainly the M1A SOCOM is one of the coolest versions. I threw a little bipod on the bottom here because that's just what you do on one of these. But other than that, this thing is factory how you get it from Springfield. One thing I'll critique on this is the Archangel, setup, the stock and everything is really made for running some sort of optic. So whether you're going to run one of the proprietary mounts here to run like a little red dot or something there, or run something out front on the supply Picatinny rail, which is cool. Because it has this pretty hefty cheek riser on the irons, you can't really get quite low enough. Like if I kind of take my cheek off and do like a high cheek, like a high cheek weld, I can get it. I can see it there, but it's not as comfortable as where I'd want to be. I want to be like right here, further down underneath my cheekbone. And with this setup, without running a red dot or a scope of some sort, you can't really get that low unless you bring it like off your cheek up onto your cheekbone area. And that's not going to be too comfortable to shoot. Slapping your cheekbone around with a 308. Other than that though, the setup out of the box is great. You get the pick rails, the M-lock pick rails on the 3, 6, and 9. You got the longer one further back on the 12. And guys, it's an M1A. It's tricked out, and let's do some shooting. Let's take a couple quick ones here. Got 5 loaded up. I feel like I need to have the Oakley gloves on when shooting this. That whole SOCOM-y feel, like I feel like I'm just operating hardcore. If you're not familiar with the M1A, you got the safety here, this little lever. It goes through the trigger guard. So now it's on safe when you want to get in and actually go. You put your finger forward, push it off, and now you're ready. I tell you what, guys, that built-in comp in the front really does a great job keeping this thing flat. I had no problem staying on down range. Didn't feel like it jumped hardly at all. That is a pretty sweet touch. All right, let's run it again slow this time. Got 3 rounds in. I want to kind of really feel it. I want to see what that recoil feels like slow and just feel it. Take it all in. Guys, I'm gonna be honest with you about something. I have never shot an M1A until today. I've seen them. I've never owned one. I've never shot one. This is certainly something was on my list of things to own, even if for nothing else, just sort of a part of firearms history, right? A modern SOCOM take, on the M1A. It looks cool. Tactical stuff always looks cool, but the classics are great as well. But let me tell you, just shooting this thing, and again, if you've never shot one, if you never shot this model or the tanker model that they make, that also has the barrel ports there. This thing shoots really soft, man. Like, I have a G3, a full-size G3 PTR 91 clone, and that's a bigger gun, a heavier gun, 18-inch barrel, and this shoots softer than that gun. I credit all of that to the ports. Maybe it's just the way this thing is balanced. It's a little more compact, but getting in there, I mean, you could probably see it on camera, it just felt really, really solid, and it just barely moved. So this thing, whew, this thing is nice. So, you know, I mentioned earlier on that was the start of a project I wanted to do. This is the start of a project I want to do. I'm not sure if I really want to get into what I want to do with it yet, but just know that something exciting is coming, I would say, and hopefully the next couple months I'll have an update. But the M1A, guys, is just a really, really sweet platform. SOCOM, you know, it's nice and compact. CQB, I mean, you could use this in a lot of different situations. It still has the ability to get stretched out, you know, hundreds of yards. I mean, you'd have no problem with a 16-inch barrel, 308, getting out to 500. I mean, that's easy. That's easy. Obviously, you lose accuracy going further out. 18 and 20-inch barrels really where we want to be. Get that like nice 1,000-yard shots, but this is easy 500 yards. Put yourself a bipod on. 308's just where it's at. So let's take a couple stationary shots. See how it goes. Again, you can probably tell I can't really get too low. The earmuffs get in the way. I gotta do something else about these earmuffs. Really set up for that optic to sit on top, because I'm perfect right here. If there was an optic or a scope right here, you're perfect. Other than that, you gotta get real low. You gotta get like down to here, and it's not the best for no optic. So let's go. Let's run this thing. So real quick, just what I was talking about there. Hard to get that cheek wheel. I'm trying to get a good sight picture. Here, I'm a little too high, and it's digging me right in my cheekbone. I really want to be right here. So you're not getting that, but I can't. So I'm going to have to leave my head up just a little bit and kind of put it in the general direction of the target and just go from there. Only downside to this stock, it's really meant for that optic. Alright guys, so this was just really the first shots, initial impressions of the M1A SOCOM. I love this version of the gun. Of course, if you like tactical stuff, it's got that very tactical feel in the SOCOM, 16-inch barrel, compensated, everything's from the factory. If you're into more of the classics, they got you covered with the classics. I mean, the all-wood walnut stock ones, the full-length ones, all the stuff. I mean, the M1A is just a very iconic, you know, rifle throughout the United States history. I really love the SOCOM version here, very tactical, very like, you know, close quarters, that CQB, you know, Special Forces SOCOM dude stuff. I'm saying if you were on the fence about whether you should get one of these, you know, 308's expensive, yes, you know, but is this on your list of something to get? I would get it because nothing is going down in price. Everything is going up. So get it while you can, because years from now you're going to be kicking yourself saying, man, I wish I would have got it then, because now it's X amount more expensive. So guys, don't forget Steve MP5 on the Instagrams, and stay tuned for more on the M1A.